Hello YouTube, it is me, Raina, and yes, you read the title right. I believe the Harry Potter franchise, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, whatever name, whatever lame cinematic universe title they're trying to make out of this series should stop. It should immediately stop. It's tarnished. It's done. Okay? People who don't want to face the music, you are blind, you are, well, let me not use ableist language. You are just not seeing the truth. I'm sorry. And this is the cold, hard, stone cold truth. Okay? This franchise should be over. Once again, I will say it is tarnished. The author is actively transphobic. She meets with people in these hateful groups and organizations who are for the basically erasure of trans and non-binary people. She meets with these people face to face, okay? She is their biggest endorsement over there. And over in the UK, they have a really big, really horrible, ugly organizations over there that are anti-trans. We have this over here too in the US. Don't get it twisted, obviously, and it's worldwide, but it's very rigorous and very aggressive in the UK, and she is a big part of it, and it's dangerous. There's a new game coming out. No one should support that. I don't care. Any new movie, if there's even going to be a movie, because the last one did not do too well. It's basically a done franchise at this point. Is over, okay? Back before the second Fantastic Beasts movie came out, her and Warner Brothers openly supported Johnny Depp when he was allegedly being abused Amber Heard back then. This is before the trial that happened this year and all the ugliness that happened against Amber Heard. Whatever and everything. And then a little bit after, when they fired him, they paid him, mind you, when the courts in the UK said that he was a wife beater, basically, allegedly, don't want to get sued, and everything like that. But, they still supported him outwardly. They wrote a letter. So keep that in mind too. She supports abuse, even though in her books, she's supposed to be against abuse. Interesting. And I thought that basically everybody was welcome to her world except for trans and non-binary people. But, boo-hoo the fool, right? Anyway, it's dangerous. Supporting anything Harry Potter is dangerous. If people are like, oh, what about this author? Majority of authors people bring up are passed away, are dead, or, other people are working in those universes. jk-rowling is still very much alive. Still very much, involved in everything Harry Potter. Okay. So basically anything new that comes out, it will go by her. She will not give up her rights. Okay. To this series. So basically, if you are supporting the series, especially anything new coming out for the series, you're really supporting her. And there's many things that people, not just now, but over the years have come out with Harry Potter, of the problematic nature of the books themselves that people have come up. And when it comes to that, before she had announced herself as being transphobic, I would have had much more respect for her if she had came out and said, hey, you know what? I'm a white woman. I grew up in majority white spaces, and that's all I knew. Sorry, these books were not as racially and gender and sexually diverse as they should have been. I'll do better in the future. The bar would have been in hell, but at least that would have been the first step. But nope, she just had to basically be like, you know what, actually, I'm going to double down and retcon a lot of stuff. And you know what, I'm transphobic also. So she did that to herself. And apparently she's writing a new book, or the book is already out, about an author who gets, death threats or gets killed because of transphobia, them spewing transphobia. She's basically self-inserting herself, self-insert fan fiction, because she claims up and down that she's getting death threats, which everyone on Twitter gets death threats, and it shouldn't be a thing, but that's not the only thing when it comes to this. She was approached years ago about her first tweet spewing out transphobia. She was approached years ago by GLAAD to have a conversation her and her people declined that conversation. And I bet you many organizations, whether it be in the US and the UK, have tried to reach out to her and she has denied. She will only listen to trans hate groups that are over there in the UK that call themselves gender critical when they're actually transphobic in a hate group that wants to eradicate and erase trans and non-binary people. That's what they want to happen. Okay, even though they love their flowery language and trying to be educational and trying to be scientific, they're a hate group. At the end of the day, they're a hate group. There's no ifs, ands, nor buts about it. Okay, that's it. To me, the legacy of Harry Potter is tarnished. The legacy of jk-rowling is forever tarnished. And this is coming from somebody who was a fan, who grew up in the era of Harry Potter. I remember those books in my school. I remember seeing them. They sold like hotcakes. I remember the news, everything, the hype of the movies. I was there. I was there through everything with Harry Potter. I praise this woman. Unfortunately, I let it go back then when the movies were over back in 2011. I let it go and got into some other stuff. And then the new stuff came out with Fantastic Beasts. And I was like, oh, okay, and Pottermore. And then once she started retconning stuff, I was side-eyeing her a lot with her retconning a lot of the books and some of the characters and the faux representation that she tried to put in there, but she never did. And then to me, the final nail in the coffin was her tweeting and meeting face to face with these hate groups, these trans hate groups, and spewing out her hatred. And basically everything trumped that. You think about back years ago with Black Lives Matter, with COVID and everything horrible, the impeachment of the last president of the United States and everything that was going on horribly, the main thorn in her side was trans and non-binary people. That's the thing that was irking her, not COVID, not Black Lives Matter, not the political landscape of her country or even the U.S. or anything. It was trans people. That's her main thorn in the side of everything going wrong in either country. That was the main thing that she could think of that was going wrong, is people basically living their lives and not hurting anybody and being themselves and having the bravery and the freedom to be who they want to be and be who they truly are and who they've always wanted to be ever since they were little but never got the chance to, because of hatred, because of people like jk-rowling whose language enforces dangerous stuff that had to happen to these people and to self-inflict harm on these people. That type of rhetoric, trigger warning, mind you, this type of rhetoric contributes to suicide. It contributes to people unliving themselves, trans people, non-binary people, to unlive themselves. It entices people to murder and beat and just abuse people like this on an almost daily basis, to get verbally attacked, verbally abused, physically, okay? And trigger warning, also even sexually abused by other people because of the rhetoric of jk-rowling and these idiotic, hateful, I don't want to, curse on everything, but these people are full of hatred, full of just venom, and they just do not deserve any airtime. They don't deserve any support from anybody. And that's why it's so dangerous for jk-rowling and to give them lip service and to support this series, because it only magnifies it even larger. And even if in the future this dies down or whatever, still I would not support it because it's forever tarnished. People need to get this through this head. It is forever tarnished. There is no turning back. There's no collect $200. It's gone. Okay? There are many other things. There are many other books. There are many other magical worlds you can find yourself in that are not as allegedly anti-Semitic, fatphobic, racist, retconny, transphobic, all the other stuff. There's more stuff out there. Okay? So this is my stance. This is how I feel, and I feel like this should be enacted. Warner Brothers, the state over there is horrible, and I doubt they'll do anything. But best believe anything new else come out, best believe there will be a protest and people will not be there for it. It's already showing in the box office and it will continue to show as years to come. The more and more support that J.K. Rowling supports hate groups, and she's also a hater and she's also filled with hatred. It was never love. It was always hate. And that's my stance. Bye, YouTube.